Hey boy, how you doing, Tango? Hey, you want to give everybody an update? Hey, pay attention on your doggy waste digester. Yeah? What do you think? All right, let's give them an update. All right, everybody. So I've been getting messages on people asking to give an update on the doggy digester. So sorry it's taken so long. Over the winter, I pretty much stopped using it. Only because the enzymes don't work well in the winter. So it's been not in use for the last few months. So long story short, what I ended up doing to the original design is I added this is a drip irrigation fitting on a drip irrigation hose, and a quick connect at the top just to connect the hose in there, and it would mix up all the stuff in there and get it mixed up, and then it goes down the drain. So I have had mixed success with this system, and I think I know why. So in the summer, when I was putting poop in there and the enzymes religiously once a week, it was working fine. I was draining fine. It was working fine. Everything was going well. So that lasted for a few months, maybe about 5-6 months. Then I've noticed that it started to drain slower and slower and slower. And now it's at a point where if I fill that up with water, I'll fill it up all the way to the top to about right here, right? And with the theory being that it has 4 feet, has a 4-foot drainage field underneath it. That should have taken care of that, but it just hasn't been. And the reason being is that I live in Arizona, so I don't know where you live, but where I live, there is a lot of clay soil. We're out in the desert, and it's very clayish. So I think that's part of the problem. The other problem is that I think just over time, this pipe itself, as stuff goes in there, it builds up. Just stuff from when you put in the dog waste. For example, my dog has a little waste. That's where he goes, potty. And every time I put it in here, there's stuff that sticks to the poop, like sand and whatnot. So what happens is it collects at the bottom. And I'm going to show you. This is pretty gross, but I think you may want to see this. So way at the bottom, this is what you end up with. And this is not necessarily poop. It's actually sand. Well, mixed in with poop, I guess. But it's mainly sand. So after a while, as you can see, it builds up under there. So what I was doing was, see, that's all sand. I'd take that out, and then I would just dump it there. And then continue to add waste in here. At this point, it's not draining well at all. It'll sit there for a few days, or not a few days, a couple days, and then it'll drain. So, and did it work well? Yes, it did in the beginning. But now, gosh, I don't know how many months out it is. Granted, I wasn't using it over the winter. It drains really slowly. So I may have to figure out a way to get the stuff out of that pipe. It shouldn't do that though, because like I said, it has, this hole where this thing is in is a 4-foot hole. And at least 3 feet of it are rock, or it's kind of not quite that big, but it's rocks about this size. And that's where it's supposed to drain out into the soil. But again, because we have clay soil, it just hasn't worked as well as I was hoping. The dog waste is getting digested, and when it drains, it's great. But that just hasn't been my experience. Am I going to continue to use this? Probably not. It's just too much work. And does it smell? Yeah, it does. If anybody tells you that's completely odorless, I would kind of question that a little bit. It does smell. Not horribly, not like, a fly stand right here away from it. No, I can't smell it. And it doesn't smell the whole area, but if you're, here, it's gonna smell. It's not completely odorless. And it's not pleasant, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I got mixed feelings about this. I think if you had well-draining soil, this would work great for you. I don't think you'd have an issue. But if you live where there is heavy clay and the water doesn't drain as fast as you would want it to, this may not be for you. So again, I'm a little disappointed because I had high hopes for it. The design itself is great. Using the bucket with the pipe in the middle, I mean, it's essentially the same design as a doggy dooley. It worked great for dissolving for the enzymes, getting rid of the poop, and then the waste, the water going down the tube and going into the rocks and whatever below. But again, because of my soil, I just don't think it's going to work. And to be honest, I don't want to keep up with it anymore. So yeah, that's been my experience. You may very well have different experiences. It might work wonderful for you. But yeah, okay, so that's the update, guys. Bottom line, I could continue to use it if I were to clean that out somehow, get the sand out of it or whatever. But I may not. I think I'm just going to dry it out, get rid of the sand that's at the bottom, and then call it quits. Gave it a shot. It is what it is. If you have clay soil, you're going to have issues. If you don't and you have well-draining soil, I think you'll be fine. And I had put this thing here, which is a little drain cap. I had that in here on top of this. And the reason for that is because my dog he's a good boy, but he's not the brightest bulb in the box. And he would eat grass and eat all kinds of stuff. And what was happening is anything in his poop would float to the top and go down this tube. And I bet you that's what's clogging it too. So this, I mean, you can use something like this too. Put it on top like this. You know what I mean? So this would filter out the hair and all the other stuff he got into. So yeah, you can do that for the top. So I don't know. I mean, give it a shot. I mean, if you want to deal with it, give it a shot. The idea is great. I like the idea that it gets rid of waste, and you don't have to pile it up and bag it up every week and throw it away. But honestly, I don't know, man. It's mixed results. All right, well, I hope this helps, and give it a shot if you want and see what happens. If you found this video helpful, please give a thumbs up and share. But again, this is my experiences with this. Hopefully yours will be better than mine was. And yeah, good luck.